There's kind of a break in the activity right now. So while the conditions are wet, as you've been reporting throughout the morning, I don't see anything in terms of any significant snowfall. Yeah, maybe a flurry here and there, but that's about it. But we are under a winter weather advisory until 4 o'clock this afternoon for these areas of the West Slope, mainly in elevations above 6,000 feet. This will impact you. We're looking at an additional 1 to maybe 3 inches of snowfall as we head through the time frame of today. So you definitely want to plan some extra time, and I would not be surprised if even going forward, and especially closer to that 2 o'clock time frame, we start to see those chain controls pop back up as the snow starts to come down. Here in Sacramento, we are looking at partly cloudy skies, light south wind. Temperatures are cool in the 40s, so grab the layers before you step outside. And yeah, things may be damp after the rainfall we received yesterday. Going forward, once the sun comes up at 7:10, I do expect we will see some hints of sunshine before more clouds roll in for the back half of the day. And really, it's by about noon and beyond we could see our best shot at some showers for the valley. You're waking up to those cloudy skies. 46 right now in Auburn, 42 in Fairfield, and 44 as you get the day started for Modesto. Quiet sweep here on Doppler radar currently. So yeah, things are quiet. We're not having any rainfall or snow come down right now. In the last 3 hours, we have had a couple of flurries down parts of the West Slope, but things will get active again as we head through the middle of the day. I'll more on the timing of that, but for how much rainfall we've picked up, especially in the past 24 hours. Let's bring in meteorologist Dirk Verdorn with a look at some of those tallies. Dirk?
Yeah, yesterday got a little exciting when we had that band of heavy rain make its way across the valley and head into the Sierra, and that brought about some decent amounts of rainfall, some of the more impressive numbers that we've seen so far this season. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those totals that we had from yesterday, and this is in inches. We're looking at over 1/3 of an inch in Chester, over 3/4 of an inch in Quincy, close to an inch at Blue Canyon, and so some decent numbers. Paradise had 8,800ths, Loyalton over 1/4 of an inch. We saw over 1/3 in Auburn, 6,700ths in Placerville. Lake Tahoe got over half an inch of rainfall. Again, melt that down, maybe get a little bit of snow out of it too. 3,300ths there in Arnold. We had over 1/4 of an inch in Jackson. Lodi had close to 1/4 of an inch. Stockton, not as much, only 300ths. Modesto just 100th. Tracy 100th. So there were some areas, especially as you work your way south, not nearly as much rain there. 500ths in San Jose, but a little bit better in San Francisco at 2,100ths. And then moving north, Petaluma 5,900ths, Calistoga 3,600ths, and Ukiah 7/10ths. And so we did have again a decent amount of rain make its way through, but we're waiting for some more, as Tamara was talking about. So that's what's going on with their weather. Now back over to you at the desk.
All right, good to know. Thank you, Dirk. Well, as the rain and snow season begins, you can track the weather and see its impacts where you live. Just get the KCRA3 app, turn on notifications for alerts sent straight to your smartphone.
Well, happening right now, a one-day strike is about to start on the Sacramento State campus.
Now, this is the last in a rolling strike that has been impacting several CSU campuses this week. Aaron Heff joins us live from Sacramento State campus with why this is happening. Good morning.
Good morning. The California Faculty Association, which represents professors and lecturers and coaches and so much more, well, they are calling for a work stoppage, a strike affecting the Sacramento State campus today. What they're calling for is a raise, better leave, and safer conditions. Take a look. So this is what it all breaks down to. Faculty want a 12% pay increase this year, but CSU has offered a 5% raise each year over 3 years. It's now being said that faculty want to send a message to university leaders, and this is how they're choosing to do it. And this comes after months of negotiations.
It's going to impact instruction in a number of ways, right? So a lot of faculty will be participating in this work stoppage, so they will not be holding class on Thursday.
And you are seeing people already percolating on the California State University Sacramento's campus. They arrived about 30 minutes ago or so. Picketing is slated to start at 7 o'clock this morning. It is slated to start then and last for many hours during the day into the evening this evening. Now, the university has said that they intend to remain open during this work stoppage and strike. And if you're a student or someone affected by the university, that you are to assume your classes are still going on as scheduled, and if you have any question, to reach out to your professors. In Sacramento, Aaron Heft, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Aaron, thank you. And happening tonight, residents in Fairfield are going to get to learn more about the California Forever Project. It is a plan from a group of Silicon Valley investors to build a new community in Solano County using tens of thousands of acres that they've bought. The group is holding another one of its town halls. This is some video from a previous town hall in Vallejo, where people ask questions about how the new town would obtain water and the impact packed on Travis Air Force Base. Reservations for tonight's town hall are sold out, but the group is going to allow some walk-ins for any seats that are not actually filled by the time it starts. Gets underway at the Fairfield Community Center at 6.
Well, 4 GOP presidential hopefuls squared off for what's likely the final time before the first primary. KCRA3's Christopher Salas is in our Washington newsroom now with a recap of the night.
The 4 GOP candidates came out swinging in what is the final opportunity for them to get on a debate stage and convince voters why they're the best choice to run the country. 4 GOP presidential hopefuls taking to the stage in Alabama in a News Nation debate. It was the smallest stage yet, and it heated up quickly.
You have other candidates up here like Nikki Haley. She caves anytime the left comes after her.
It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt.
You would be voted in the first 20 minutes as the most obnoxious blowhard in America.
And I love all the attention, fellas.
But with former President Donald Trump leading polls by a wide margin, the candidates shifted their focus.
You want to know why those poll numbers are where they are? Because folks like these 3 guys on the stage make it seem like his conduct is acceptable.
And as much as everybody wants to talk about how Donald Trump had a good economy, $9 trillion in debt, he did just in 4 years. And we're all paying the price of that.
Candidates also attacking President Joe Biden on foreign policy, including the Israel-Hamas war.
This administration is trying to hobble Israel from being able to defend itself. They have a right to eliminate Hamas.
And China.
I think it is going to take a U.S. president that's going to have a very different conversation with Xi Jinping than what Joe Biden just had in California.
Candidates making their case just 40 days until the first primary contest.
We need to restore the U.S. Constitution as the centerpiece of our national life.
We have to stop the chaos, but you can't defeat Democrat chaos with Republican chaos.
Every person is responsible for their own conduct, even a president.
We are flogging ourselves and losing our modern way of life, bowing to this new god of climate, and that will end on my watch.
The economy and immigration were 2 other major issues discussed during the debate, with the candidates criticizing both the current president and his predecessor, the current GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, on those issues. In Washington, I'm Christopher Salas.
Well, frontrunner Donald Trump skipped the debate again, saying he didn't want to give his lower polling rivals any attention. Meantime, speaking of, Trump is expected back in court today. His attorneys say he plans to show up as a spectator during his civil business fraud trial in New York. His legal team will be calling an accounting professor to testify. Trump himself is expected to take the stand for a second time Monday.